Good morning, everybody. This is Angela here with ElaCateDesigns with a journal share for you guys. First off, I have an announcement that I want to make. I finally officially opened up my Etsy store, so I will have that linked down below. And this journal will be on sale once I get it all listed. This journal I'm calling my Vintage Ladies Journal. And you're going to see a lot of inspiration and ideas through it from Nick the Booksmith. So thank you very much for all of your inspiration and lovely ideas and gorgeous work, Nick. It is 9x6 with the 2 1/4 spine, and there's 4 sewn in signatures. It is an upcycled cereal box that I covered, and the cover was one of those happy accident moments. I actually had a different plan for it, and I had covered the cereal box initially just with the craft paper to cover the design on the cereal box, and I was gonna do a fabric covered and everything, but then once I did the craft and it had all of the bubbles, I decided to just run one of my ink pads over on top of it, and it kind of started to look almost like tree bark or wood, and I just kind of fell in love with it and decided to go with it. So I did seal it with some artist's medium to seal it and reinforce it. This is the first time that I've done a spine charm, and I'm kind of addicted to them now. This one isn't your typical like chunky charm. It's more of that rustic vintage look that you'll see on a lot of Nick the Booksmith's ones. So I did do an eyelet, and then I ran some jute twine through it and tied some muslin and some ribbons and I can't remember, I think this is chiffon through it. And then the charms themselves, I've just got some beads and this little rose charm, a skeleton key, this is a vintage button, another bead, and another little flower charm, some more beads, and this is actually from Vintage Jewelry. My mother-in-law for Christmas sent me a whole box full of goodies that she had found at flea markets and antique stores. There was vintage buttons and jewelry and laces and tons of gorgeousness. So I added that on there. Oh, excuse me, sorry. And it is just attached with a paper clip to the jute twine, so it can be removed if you don't like it or if it's cumbersome. So it is, the closure is just with this soft hem tape through some eyelets. And so there's tons of coffee dyeing, and there's sewing, and I left all the tails from the sewing on there. Lots of fabric and fibers and all sorts of goodies. So we're going to go ahead and flip through. There's over 150 pages in it, lots of pockets. I used images from Tsunami Rose, Ephemera's Vintage Garden, the Graphics Fairy, and then there's a few other images that I had found online that were copyright-free vintage images and such. So there's lots of journal space, and I've got lots of these picture cards that are blank on the back from Tsunami Rose that are of the Vintage Ladies, and that's kind of where the inspiration for, part of the inspiration for this book came from. That's Tsunami Rose. This is one of those half page tag peekaboo pockets, and this I got the idea from Nick the Booksmith. And inside the pocket is just some little ephemera. Now I believe she uses tracing paper for hers, and I use the baking parchment paper because when I coffee dye and bake my papers, I line the pans with parchment paper and they get all coffeeed up, and I was like, well, why waste something like that? So I decided to utilize those for that. Graph paper and ledger. This is more of that chiffon that I've stitched on. Some old thesaurus paper that's been coffee dyed. Notebook paper. Pocket. Oh, I forgot to say I did use some Cameo Shop. This is from Cameo Shop. I'll have to add that in the description as well. And Tsunami Rose Ephemera. So the colors are kind of pinks and oranges and reds. One of her big elements, journaling cards, Tsunami Rose. Some more Cameo Shop and Tsunami Rose. So there's, like I said, lots of sewing, lots of stitching. More ephemera in this large pocket with some lace. And a lot, I think all the laces I used in this book I actually got from Tuesday Morning. They had a really good selection not too long ago of laces. So that was a happy find. More ephemera. This one's been backed and stitched with coffee dyed paper, and this one's just been a little bit inked up. And that's Tsunami Rose. Lots of journaling spaces. I love her. I just think that's a beautiful picture. So there's fabric topped paper clips and fiber topped paper clips, and there's a couple of my altered flower clips in here as well. Some more ledger, more graph. Another one of these tags with the peekaboo pockets. And that's from Ephemera's Vintage Garden, as is this envelope. And as customary for me, and I swear every single journal I make, I have to do something upside down. I can't help myself. So when I glued the envelope, I inevitably glued it upside down, but it just has a little card in there and tucks up there. Some fiber topped paper clip. And that's another one of my favorite ladies. One of the flower clips. Whoops. And another peekaboo pocket. And this is just some of the parchment paper that got baked, but it didn't get coffee on it. But I still used it. And it's got some journaling cards inside of it. And this is from the Ephemera's Vintage Garden Love is Chic collection, I believe. And there's some hints of green in here as well throughout the journal. Some more ephemera, and this has been printed on coffee dyed file folder, so it's nice and heavyweight. I've got some tulle that's been stitched on. A large envelope that's all been stitched for the center signature, and I made a little journaling booklet here, and it's got some lace or some tulle and some fibers, and it's just got some different papers in there for added journaling. So we've got a flip out. More notebook paper, another little flip out. I just left that tag blank for journaling, or put a photo or something on it. some more tulle and some more chiffon. This got real grungy. Another vintage lady and another fabric clip. Some more ephemera from Vintage Garden, or I'm sorry, Tsunami Rose Designs. And some of the ephemera pieces I did run through the sewing machine, and so there's some stitching detail. Another tag with a peekaboo pocket and some more ephemera in it. Fiber topped clip. Another envelope, and this one just has some of Tsunami Rose's journaling cards in there. Another flower clip and just some more ephemera. Another peekaboo pocket, and this is a journaling card from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And there's just a little bow that I made with some tulle. Pocket with, that's from the Graphics Fairy, I believe, and then Tsunami Rose. So lots and lots of places to journal and add your own memorabilia and photos and whatnot in. Sorry for the voice, it's still kind of early and still trying to have my morning tea and get going. This is, I believe, Graphics Fairy, and I just backed that on coffee stained paper and did some stitching. Another large pocket here with some different ephemera, journaling card, and this is from the Graphics Fairy. It's a vintage flower botanical image. More journaling cards and ephemera. And the same back here. Another flower clip. More ledger paper. Another vintage lady. Another peekaboo pocket with just a little journaling card and one of the decoupage flowers from Tsunami Rose. I'm obsessed with doing this ruffle stitching with the fabric on the pages now. In my next couple of journals that hopefully I'll be finishing in the next few days and getting up, you'll see a lot of this because that's kind of just my thing right now. I get stuck on one thing and kind of just do it until I'm tired of it. Another thesaurus page and the last page, and this is just some fabric tape. As is with, you know, handmade goods, we all make mistakes. And apparently when I was punching the hole for the back cover here, I also punched a hole with my crocodile through the page, so I just covered that with some fabric tape. And that is it. So yeah, so thank you again to Nick the Booksmith. I injured my foot last week, and so I've been on kind of limited duty, and so I've been working at my craft table and binge watching YouTube videos, and I just have to say, you ladies out there that are making these journals are fantastic. I can't even name you all right now because I will run out of time, but thank you all. And I'll have the links below for my new Etsy shop. I will be adding more items in the coming week, so please stop by, take a peek, and I'll link Tsunami Rose and Ephemera's Vintage Garden and Graphics Fairy in the description box below as well for all the images in here, and Cameo Shop too. So thank you again. Have a great weekend. Bye guys.